dark. I am Brandon in the house tonight. Welcome to all you people out there listening globally, overseas, worldwide, of course, hanging out in the States as well. Shout out to 92.3 The Beat in Japan, who obviously is a fan of my guest tonight, because the moment actually I had this guest locked in, they were like, yo, I want to make sure I get a chance to, check it out. Meaning, like, make sure their fan base out there is streaming in as well, because, hey, we do a lot of promotion here, but also it's all about celebrating the movement of artists on the rise and established artists and people that have just embraced the culture of what music stands for. And I think this young lady has so far in her career as well, just because of the soul she brings. If y'all listen to this track, which is lit, and when I say that, I'm talking about the people out there, though, like, when it comes to just feeling certain songs, I think it's really important for people. People can go out there and sing, and that's cool. That's solid. We appreciate the talent they give us, but when you can bring that little something extra to it and to make it personal and to make it your own and to be able to have that sound that is just tremendous, then you know what? Hey, you know what? She is doing a service not just because she has God-given talent, but also she's bringing it to her base of fans and also her new fan base of people who's logged in listening to her for the very first. Without further ado, I want to make sure I welcome this young lady, and you can hit her up on all social media things. Hit her up on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Rosalee Official. You can also hit her up on Twitter and Instagram at Rosalee Music, and it's RosaleeMusic.com. And, I've been saying Rosalee, like, all night tonight, so I'm going to welcome Rosalee to Nexxlegacy Radio. Rosalee, what's up, baby? How you doing?
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Ooh, girl, you going to start off the show, like, with the voice singing like that? You better watch out. Might have to,
I took all
drop
day
to my knee. Hey, I might have to drop to my knee real quick. I'm telling you, like,
hey.
Ooh, you singing to your boy. Oh, my gosh. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on the show.
I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad. Shout out to your team, because I'm always one of these kind of people. I love music. It's like I grew up. I was born into the thing, and it's just like the culture has embraced me so much. So I want to shout out your team first off for steering me into your direction. And now that I'm in your life, like, you can't get rid of me now. Like, your talent is that good. I'm just saying.
Oh,
you can't say goodbye to me.
Thank you. I'll take it, and I've got an incredible team, so I want to give a shout out to each and every one of them. I wouldn't be here without them. So, it's definitely a group effort. So I'm very fortunate.
Amen to that. So let the listeners know, the people out there listening globally, and of course also in the States, people that's tuned in listening to you for the very first time, hearing your songs and yourself for the very first time. Let the people know a little bit about you and how you came to be where you are right now. How'd you get started, the whole deal?
I grew up with very little. I grew up in a very small town in Utah, actually, out of all places, right?
Okay.
I had very little support and very little soul music, to be inspired by. So, as you can imagine, I was caught, like, stealing my mother's cassette tapes of Tina Turner, and that was one of my first inspirations, in introductions into soul music, along with, the disco tapes that I stole from her. But she just found out, actually, that those tapes were missing. She's like, oh, that's you're the person that stole those tapes from me. But, my parents, they didn't have, they wanted me to take more of the conventional route, whatever that means. So, they didn't want me to have, like, that pie in the sky type of dream. So they didn't really understand what it was I was yearning for. And,
right.
I always grew up dreaming of being a singer, but never thought it was possible until I actually graduated from high school and moved to Vegas. And, I just kind of found my way from there. But, I just grew up loving music, and I always had this huge aspiration of being this amazing singer, but never had the means, to, I guess, get myself from point A to point B until, I met an incredible producer here in Las Vegas. His name is Darren Schur, and he kind of, paved the way for me and introduced me into his team. And it's interesting when you meet people that actually kind of believe in your talent and, believe in you. It just gives you a little bit more strength and confidence and, into
right.
who you are and, living out your dream. So that's what it was. And it's just kind of blossomed from there.
Did you find out that, you know what, I actually have a pretty nice voice at a young age, or did you kind of evolve into it as you got older?
Well, it's so interesting that you asked that question because I always knew that it felt good to sing, but, I had like friends along the way saying, oh my God, you've got an amazing voice, but I never, really thought that, okay, well, I can make something out of it until, I don't know, I guess I just maybe started singing more, and then it's like, okay, well, all right, I might have a shot here, like I started getting recognition from people outside of, even my circle, and a little bit of validation from some professionals like, David Foster and just I don't know, I guess getting that validation from people like, of that caliber just kind of strengthens you and you realize, okay, well, maybe I do have something here going on, so let me pursue that. But, singing has always been a dream of mine, and I'm really, really lucky to be living out my dream right now.
So as you continue to pursue what that God-given talent and the things that you have been fortunate enough to be able to share with us, what's been some of the positives that you've gotten into? I mean, you talked about some of the interactions that you've had with some of your music peers, and of course people in your inner circle and strangers coming to you and saying, "Oh my God, Rosalee, you're so great." What's been some other positives, and also what's been some of the drawbacks and some of the some of the things that's been challenging as far as so far in your early career?
Well, as far as like the challenges go, I mean, going to the fact that I didn't have a lot of that support, so that means that I didn't really have, I didn't have any formal vocal training. So, because my parents really didn't understand the dream that I wanted to follow, I would, just oftentimes lock myself in my room and mimic the singers that I would hear on the radio, Tina Turner, of course, and then, even Whitney Houston and, Patti LaBelle. That was a lonely time for me because, my parents really didn't understand what I was trying to pursue. They wanted me to go to college and so I just locked myself in my room and I try to mimic these singers, and then, even like moving into Las Vegas, the positive is, getting that recognition from some of my peers and some people, outside in the music world. And, David Foster ultimately inviting me to come sing on the stage with him at his David Foster and Friends concert in San Jose. And then, just working with some people that have worked with Gladys Knight and Stevie Wonder and, even John Mayer and Biggie Smalls, just to have that kind of core team in my circle has kind of uplifted me.
Wow. That's amazing. And you talk about the history of music and some of the people that's inspired you vocally, and you say you've mimicked a few as far as singing and trying to emulate their singing styles and stuff like that. But let me say, as a fan, like, I listen to you and I don't hear none of them, and that's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing because your style is so unique, and people can compare you to different artists, and that's cool. But you know what, Rosalee has her own like vocal style, and to me, I think in this world of desperately needing creativity and having a creative voice and stuff like that, I think that's very important. And I'm glad that you have, in my opinion, arrived to not just the radio scene, but also, for people listening to you for the first time. And she's like, people are like, dope, like she's dope. She got that, she got that voice that we haven't heard before, and I think that's important now for especially nowadays.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been an interesting process. I mean, this business has been very unforgiving, and I've certainly been burned along the way. I've dealt, unfortunately, with some ugliness in this business, and I think those types of situations kind of build character. And so I don't know, maybe that's what I'm singing from, but I've got so many influences. It's actually interesting. I've got influences in R&B as well as many different genres. So
right.
That's great to hear that you say that I've got some originality, because it's tough to find your voice in this industry.
Rosalee, we are in desperate need of it, because you said it yourself. I mean, the business of entertainment music is it's unforgiving, but it's so jaded in a sense too, where it's people, they're fixated on like certain things, and they'll put it in a box, and they'll leave it there, and then they don't open that box up so they can be able to have an opportunity to be able to witness more memories and more history. It's kind of like it was when we were growing up, in a sense, where we had no choice but to engage into and do creativity and make that grow, because you couldn't win if you didn't have it. So in a sense, it's so stagnant, but at the same time, people, not just me, but, there's hundreds of thousands of other people and new-time listeners, too, listening. Like, there's really genuine appreciation, which is really giving me hope about, the state of the music world.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, for me, when I just completed my album, it took me about a couple of years. For me, I didn't want to rush the creative process. And this might sound really terrible, but I always tell everybody that this is my kind of selfish album, because I wanted to do exactly what I wanted to do. But, honestly, this album is kind of an extension of me. It was all about self-discovery and me, I guess, kind of breaking out of my shell. So.
Well, I think that's still a good segue of putting it, just in a sense, because, sometimes you got to be able to take ownership and be like, hey, you know what, I need to do this for me. But then people that's fans of, or new fans, they're going to be like, wow, you know what, I appreciate it, because that's pieces of your life that we're getting, song by song and effort by effort that you put out when you go on and do shows and stuff like that too. So, sometimes you got to be a little selfish to be able to, let people understand, hey, this is the real me at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's what creativity is all about. You got to, just kind of open up that shell and express yourself. So I think that's beautiful, if you have the ability to do that, as hard as it may be.
Very true.
And,
it's
all about believing yourself, too.
That's right. Rosalee is our guest on Branded After Dark, brought to you by Nexxlegacy. You can check out her on social media. Make sure you check out her Facebook, Rosalee Official on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Rosalee Music, RosaleeMusic.com also. And you said you've been working on your project for a couple of years, and what can we expect from this project when it's released, and when is it releasing?
Well, okay, so yeah, I worked on it for the past 2 years. I don't know if you know, but I also my first single was released with Snoop Dogg, the earlier part of this past year. That's called Just My Thing.
I heard it, and it's nice, very, very good. We're gonna play that in a little while too, by the way. So most definitely.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much for the love. This project is it's straight up R&B, soul, and funk. That's who I am. And what I wanted to accomplish is just take you through a journey through the eras of R&B, soul, and funk from the 90s, 80s, 70s, and even to the 60s. I just really wanted to pay tribute to the people that inspired me. So that's kind of the concept of my album, and it's entitled What It Is, and we should be releasing it in the first quarter of next year. So I'm looking forward to that. Very excited.
Nice. I need to be like the radio president of the Rosalee fan club and just start celebrating and get it all in and make it. I'm serious. Like you think I'm joking, but I'm serious. Like I'm just saying, when I say Rosalee, we are in dire need of your change of pace when it comes to the industry and how it is. Like, it's, not putting a whole lot of pressure on you though, but we need you. We need your type of flow. I'm serious. Like, it's a long time coming. And what I want to do is I want to play Just My Thing, which is featuring Snoop Dogg, and I want to come back and I want to talk to you about not just the projects, but the project that you have getting ready to be released first quarter, but also just the state of the industry and what we as fans and media can do to be able to kind of help, move this into the direction that we all felt when we did, maybe the last couple of decades. So we're going to play Just My Thing and come right back with Rosalee. One of those kind of songs where you can just, like, put it in your car and just drive out, have one of those nice little, little field trips or those trips to a spot where you're going to be driving for a while and just play this a few times. Branded After Dark brought to you by Nexxlegacy. I am Branded here with my beautiful guest, Rosalee. The single right now, which is featuring Snoop Dogg, is available right now on iTunes. You can go ahead and check that out. Hey, congrats on this one, though. This one's hot. Definitely hot. How did this come to be with you getting a chance to work with Snoop, though? Because I know it was a good look, right?
Well, first of all, I have to say I've always been a fan of his. That 90s hip-hop movement especially. I mean, he was a big part of that. And, that's when I first came to love Snoop and, of course, Dre. But he was working in the studio with my producer on the album. And, he was doing a couple of his own projects, one of which was, with Charlie Wilson and his last album. And, he just by chance, when I was cutting my album, he heard some of the stuff that was in the works. And, he approached my producer and he said, hey, maybe I can lay a track on that one of these days. And, I about fell out of my seat because, I wasn't expecting for him to say that, but, it was pretty cool. I was like, oh my God, okay, well, yeah, let's do it. I mean, Snoop, Uncle Snoop, come on, let's go. But I'm very fortunate because he's super talented, and I'm completely honored and lucky to have him on this project. So thank you, Snoop.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, and you know what? It's I think a lot of us is like super fans of the era of the '90s and Death Row and Dre and G-Thang and everything that is Snoop. Like, he embodies so much in his growth as not just an artist, but also as a, person. I mean, still relevant into this entertainment business. I mean, that kind of speaks volume when someone, but see, that's a testament though, Rosalee, to your talents. Cause, somebody like Snoop or anybody really stops in their tracks and be like, oh, wait a minute, who is this? And then they got to get to know Rosalee a little bit more. And then, okay, you know what? Let's find ways to be able to try to work together on this. So it was a good look, but also a testament to your talents, though. Well,
thank you. And you go through this process and you feel a little bit of, you feel, you sometimes it's an unknown. It's like I don't know if I'm good enough, and just going through this process, it's all about believing in yourself, really. I mean, no matter what it is that you do, it's having that belief and you never realize the power behind that until you actually just, put a little thought and give yourself a little bit of confidence and say, hey, I can do this. And then, it's amazing how much your world can open up.
Well,
so,
you just mentioned something you mentioned something, Rosalee, that I feel like, it's kind of like it's going to segue into some of the things that I wanted to ask you as far as the business, because you just said that, sometimes I think, well, I don't know if it's good enough or if the people are going to respond a certain way, or because you are venturing into the unknown because, personally, you may feel in your heart like, hey, you know what, I have the talent and I have the drive to do this, but who's going to respond or who's going to be able to be, that person that's going to, rise up and say, hey, I appreciate it when it's all said and done. Radio guys like myself search for that same thing, too, because I'm searching for artists like you to, come in and bring energy and stuff like that as well because, even the radio game is dry. The music game has gotten dry. And my question to you is when you boil all this into the situation that we currently have in 2016 going into 2017, what do you think we could do to be able to kind of bring more excitement to it? Because it seems like the fan base just seems to want more, even though you're giving them more, but they want something, but we don't know what it is. But what do you feel like when it's all said and done, the response and things like that when it comes to this culture of music that we're facing?
I don't know. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, I think the music industry is kind of funny these days. In my opinion, I feel like everything's a little bit synthetic and saturated.
Mm-hmm.
And, for me, I'm looking for that organic, just kind of like raw feeling. I'm looking, I guess, for the human touch. And, no matter what genre of music you're playing, no matter what industry you're even doing business in, really.
No doubt.
But, I think that there's a human element that's missing. And that's something that I really want to, always bring into my message musically.
Well, I think that, and even though I'm just going to keep it between you and me and probably a couple of 100,000 listeners right now, but remember the days of music when, well, this is before the internet. Now, granted, we're on an online station now that's covering so many parts of the country, which is a beautiful thing. But let's scale it back to remember when we only had stations, we didn't have internet, all we had was literally our music in our house and our speakers in our cars and word of mouth. And all that spread like wildfire, and the appreciation to me, I feel like, grew and grew and grew. All we had was radio. If Rosalee came out in the 80s or 90s or even in the 70s or whatnot, and songs like came out, we would have to call in to be able to hear it. And call in again to be able to hear it again until the actual song came out. So there's a disconnect, and I think a lot of it had to do with social media and people taking advantage of the culture. Because to me, the buying element and the culture of really just dialing in to appreciate the art form just kind of, it's like when you said oversaturated, I agree. But also I think people got lazy. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And, look at the, the purchases. I mean, do purchases even exist anymore? You've got a lot of the streaming and people aren't buying albums. They buy songs, if they're even buying,
Right.
And, I miss the days where you could, you would look forward to buying a full album and you could listen to it front to back over, on repeat. And, I like to call those the concept albums where, it takes you through a journey. And I don't know. I mean, lately I haven't found, it's been few and far between where I've, found some albums that, kind of take you on that journey. And I don't know. It's just, there's something missing. I mean, in all honesty, I don't think you can replace, talented human beings when it comes to musicians on an album. And, I think there's like a musical factor that's kind of missing. And, don't get me wrong, I love electronic music and, I appreciate all genres of music, and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody in any means, but, that's my opinion.
But we hear it too damn much, and we have to like sometimes you just hey, it's there because think about it. The cool thing about the entertainment part of music is there's so many different genres of it. There's different layers to how the music is being sung, and that's great. But when you hear it over and over and over again without adding a little bit of element to it, I want to mix. Like if I have to listen to Drake all day, I'm not just using this as an example. Drake all day, Lil Wayne all day, hearing it over and over and over again. Love Bruno Mars too. Hear that over and over and over. I need a change of pace. So throw in a Rosalee mixed in with certain things like that. Even on shows and performances too. Sometimes we need that extra element to be able to kind of just add that layer, because it's just I'm pretty sure, Rosalee, you got rap in your CD, but also you got R&B, you got jazz, you got some pop, you got some rock or whatnot, you gotta change up the pace a little bit, right?
Yeah, and it's so interesting because every once in a while I do turn on the radio, just to see what's going on there.
Wow, really?
And
you do?
yeah, right, and it's I'm sad to say that I hear artists and I can't tell one from the next, and it's just like, okay, well, you sounded just like the last song that I heard, and that was a different artist, and I guess we're missing that diversity.
Exactly. Well, that's something that you're going to bring to this game once again, and I think you, amongst other people, too, that, is still trying to vie for that spot to be able to say, hey, world, I can still be able to come and do a show and rock it and get you excited about it because I can bring an element that nobody's bringing right now, which is a plus because, again, Rosalee is our guest on Branded After Dark, brought to you by Nexxlegacy. I just feel like that's the time for you to really just kind of step in. So when you do drop this album and Q1 of 2017, I think it's just going to be dope because we ain't got nothing else, so we got Rosalee coming soon. I'm just saying.
But you know what?
But the single's out though by Snoop Dogg. Rosalee and Snoop Dogg singles out right now. Go get that on iTunes right now, right quick though. People out there that's listening, that's loving the conversation, go get it right now and hashtag Rosalee, please. Do that today and tomorrow.
Thank you.
And Thanksgiving. After Black Friday, go buy somebody something special too. Go get that single.
No, I'm gonna be home on Black Friday.
Good for you.
I'll do some online shopping. How about that?
But see, that's what I'm talking about. See, and people can go get that Rosalee single featuring Snoop Dogg on iTunes on Black Friday, and you don't have to go nowhere to get it. You can just go right there.
That's right.
Log in.
That's right.
And get it.
Yep. Full access right there.
There you go. That's right. So how do you manage your personal life and your career? Because I'm pretty sure like your day and your nights are going to start getting really hectic with shows and in the studio working and stuff like that. How do you manage personal time for yourself?
When I have that personal time, I just make it a point to kind of disconnect and say, okay, well, this is my personal time. It's like like when you go to the gym, when you commit to going to the gym or working out or whatever, that's kind of like your own personal time where you can just kind of, meditate and do whatever it is you need to do mentally. That's how I deal with my personal life. I'm a homebody when I'm not on the road or, doing concerts. I love to cook. I love to eat. So that pretty much sums it up. But yeah, I mean, I think when it's time to just take time out for yourself, it's really important that you enjoy that space and you absorb it.
Well, you also have to have a nice little, take me away moment because, as much as we are invested in our careers, like you said, that outlet of just having solitude or just being like, like that solitude really, when you think about it, to me, I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're giving, to me, I always feel like if you're an artist or if you're doing anything in the entertainment value where we're live on the air right now with 200,000 people listening, but at the same time, it's just like, we're giving this conversation to them. Sometimes it takes a little bit out of you. Sometimes you got to step back and just breathe a little bit because sometimes it's not an easy deal all the time, right?
Yeah. You gotta enjoy that moment, and then when it's time to grind, then you just, you gotta show up then too. I'm getting ready for I've got a big show actually. It's for a benefit. It's called Keep the Promise, and it brings awareness to AIDS and just the treatment around the world. So I'm getting ready to do that in LA November 30th, and I'm gonna be sharing the stage with Patti LaBelle and
nice.
Jojo and a couple other people. I believe they're honoring Elefante on top of it. So that's
very cool.
That's something I'm looking forward to. But in the time being, I'm gonna eat my cranberry sauce, and maybe I can get some Patti LaBelle pie. I don't know. To prep for that.
There you go. That's what's up. That's what's up. Rosalee's our guest on Branded After Dark, brought to you by Nexxlegacy.com. You can hit up all things Rosalee. Check out her social media, which is Rosalee Official on Facebook, and make sure you hit up Twitter and Instagram, Rosalee Music. And in addition to cooking and working out and stuff like that, what else does Rosalee do when she's not singing and promoting and working, even though you work probably 24/7, 365? Like, what do you do? What else do you do?
Honestly, I don't have kids, but I have 2 pugs, and so whenever I can spend time with them, I just enjoy spending time with them, taking them out and cuddling. So, I don't require much to make me happy. I just like to cuddle, cook, and eat. So, those are like
cuddle,
the 3 things
cook,
that
and
I need.
Eat. Cuddle, cook, and eat.
That's
mental
it.
Mental note. Like, there you go. Well, I mean, see, I'm going to throw this question out there, but see, you not required a whole lot, but what are your expectations when you deal with not just groupie men or women or whatever, but just in general when it comes to, like, your expectations? Like, somebody that wants to be a part of your team, what is needed and required to earn that opportunity for them to be on Team Rosalee?
First of all, they got to be qualified. But
gotta have
in addition to that, you got to have the stats. But
let me break out a pen and a piece of paper and take notes. So, qualifications are included. People out there listening.
But I think before that comes honesty, because I've been burned by some shady people, and that sucks.
Wow.
Just dealing with some. There's a lot of ugliness in this world, and I pray that none of you have to go through it. But I've been through a lot of crap. So honesty is a big one for me.
I think you have. And Rosalee, can I also add that to me, I think especially in this business, and I think where our businesses are blended, right? I think radio and music and entertainment, we're kind of joined. I've seen a lot of probably what I can read your mind without reading your mind, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of know, some things. But also in this business, I think the best thing that anybody can do, media allies, people that's Team Rosalee that really got your best interest out of the gate, that person, male or female, is not going to want nothing from you but to see you grow. And to me, I think that should be out of the gate. Like, whoever does that and do it consistently, I think that's solid, because you know what? Like, me personally, like, if I'm going to be, like, Team Rosalee, like, I'm just going to do whatever I can to help promote and show that appreciation and show that support and do it regularly and consistently and not expect nothing in return.
Yeah, and
right?
and I thank God, because I've actually aligned myself with an incredible team. So, it took a lot of trial and error to get to the point where I'm at right now. It's a lot of life lessons, but I definitely have a strong core, so I'm very thankful for all of them.
That's what's up. And I think that's important nowadays, because the world is a big scam when you really think about it. Like, the world is exactly that. But, when you have genuine people that really, really want to see you succeed, they don't ask you for nothing anyway. Those are the people that don't ask for nothing. They just do. They do because they care. They care because they want to see growth. Seeing growth means, you're getting the best out of what you can be able to make out of your situation, and I think that's important. The world needs to take notes from us, because we're giving free game right now. So I think people should really understand that's just that's the way life rolls. It's supposed to be like that. You live longer. You're happy that way when that goes down. I think that's important.
But I tell you what, when you find those people, you hold on to them, and you hold on to them tight, because it's a select few. But it's a beautiful thing when you have those people on your team that are believing in you as much as you believe in yourself.
that's why I'm holding on to Rosalee tight and showing that support and make sure that people will get it. Like, you know, like I said, I think we all need, like, the best allies and the people that is just, like, team growth when it comes to that. Like, you know, listening to your music before we even had dialogue, it's like I felt like I knew you. Now it's like we had dialogue. Now I know you. Now it's like, okay, what can I do to be able to help this woman succeed and grow? So, you know, hey, to me, I think that's a good look. And I think other stations and other people that do interact, you know, jump on that train and move this in the right direction, because, you know, if we speak like this, then we got to make sure that we go elsewhere and do the same thing. And, you know, I'm not trying to sound super preachy on a Branded After Dark show brought to you by Nexxlegacy, but I'm just saying, we need all of it, and we need smiles. So if you can keep smiling, Rosalee, that means we're doing a good job. It means we're doing a good job.
I like smiles, and you know we can do this all together. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So you have your show on the 30th, and you have your project coming out Q1 of 2017. So in the middle of, like, doing all this, you're still going to be doing other shows, and the people out there is actually looking to book you. Where can they go?
You know, the best place, I don't have anything completely confirmed yet because we're still in the works. We're talking about doing some tours internationally. But, you know, the best place to just keep up on my schedule is go to my website, rosaleemusic.com. That's ROSALEE music.com. And, you know, it's got links to all my social media. So that's a one-stop shop where we can stay connected. If you want to email, you know, if you want to do it that way, that's cool too. But, you know, I definitely love to stay connected with everybody.
Because we got to, you know, definitely want to make sure, you know, a couple of quick questions before we let you go, let you know that also said at the start of the show, but, you know, we got some nice allies in Japan. 92.3 The Beat out there is listening as well. So if we got a massive fan base out in Japan who's, you know, up chilling, listening to this online show, or they'll download it later, or they'll listen to it on iTunes or whatnot. You know, people out there that's trying to book you as well, definitely send a shout out to Japan and let them know to go to your website too and log in, so, you know, they can start the early negotiation process to get you out there.
Yeah, I'd love to come to Japan. I mean, I want to see the world, so, you know, the more the merrier.
There you go. All right, and before we let you go, I got to tell you this, and I've been doing radio over 9 years, and I've had, like, a ton of, like, nice guests, Stephanie Mills, Karen White, stuff like that. You are not only super fun, and your energy is, like, all the way turned up, and your music is definitely that times 10, that I am really, really, really proud to say, hey, you know what, with everything that you're doing and what that you're about to do, it's great to just be able to get a vibe from you and know that, you know what, this woman's gonna, you know, she's gonna make a hell of a lot of noise going into this new year, and I'm glad I could witness it, like, literally. So, you know, you're gonna have to come back and maybe take calls and, you know, and raise holy heck out there to the public out there too. So, no, I'm really proud of you.
Oh my God! Well, thank you so much for having me on your show, and I would definitely love to, you know, come back anytime. Anytime you welcome me, I'm you know, more than willing to do
that.
And
this is your home now. This is your home now. So, you know, this is like the official Rosalee station. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to all things Rosalee. Like, I want new news, anything breaks. You know, Rosalee went to the store. We're gonna break that news live on Nexxlegacy. Like, we're gonna do that. We're here. We're gonna do that live.
No, you don't want to see photos of me going to the store. You definitely don't want to see because it's not glamorous. Hey, let me tell you.
Rosalee posted up a new picture on Facebook. Like, you know, we're gonna break into song playing. Like, we might play like a dope new song that's just breaking. Interruption. You know, we're gonna interrupt this. We're gonna interrupt this important song to let you guys and girls know that Rosalee just posted a new picture on social media.
Yeah.
Go check it.
So, is it appropriate to say that I am officially branded now?
Absolutely, damn right. You're damn right.
Hey.
Got that right. I love it. Hey, before we let you go again, thank you for calling in, coming on. And please, like, you got something new. You know, this station is your official home now. So seriously, like, your team, shout out to Team Rosalee. And I'm on the team officially. I just invited myself onto your team. So Team Rosalee right here, like, this station is definitely going to hold you down.
You're hired.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast.
Definitely. Same here. And continue to keep doing great things. Oh, and you know what? Before I let you go, tomorrow, and I'm saying this to everybody tonight, even the rest of the show tonight that we'll have going on, I am doing a massive awareness for the homeless problem that continues to plague our nation. What I have done is I am actually, delivering a box of clothes that I even can't fit, don't wear, whatever, to someone that is a stranger in a shelter that is in dire need of it, like yesterday. So I am actually going to make that move tomorrow. So if you can just spread that awareness for folks out there. If you are if you're giving, give to a stranger. It's easy to give to a friend or a family member, but give to somebody that is not your friend or that is not your family member, because they're going to be able to feel that affection, that appreciation of you giving something to them for the rest of their lives. And definitely that is the awareness that I want to spread tonight going into tomorrow, when I actually take this box and deliver these clothes over to a shelter. So please spread that word.
I love that.
Just,
I
hashtag
will.
homeless.
Absolutely.
And definitely make that happen. And I love you for it.
It sounds good.
Perfect.
I
will
that.
be in touch.
Yeah.
I will be in touch. And if there's anything that you need from me prior to you leaving or in the middle, we're going to stay connected anyways, because, it's Team Rosalee over here, so we're going to make sure we stay connected. So we got you. You need me, I'm here for you.
Okay. Yeah, likewise, man. And don't be surprised if I post my little box on my social tomorrow, hashtagging the homeless. So, maybe I'm already
following you on all social media things right now, and of course, and people out there, I'm saying that to say this: we're doing all this, not just of course, we got a business to run as well. So please, I encourage you people to go get that single, Just My Thing, featuring Snoop Dogg. It's available now on iTunes. Go pick it up. Go do it. Go do it. Go do it for the holidays. Go get one for yourself and get one for your significant whoever. And just continue to just plug good music. And Rosalee got that. So thanks again, honey. Just stay blessed. Stay on that path. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you, man. Happy holidays, and we'll be in touch.
Absolutely. That is the beautiful, talented Rosalee. Make sure you go check out our website, RosaleeMusic.com. More music, coming back, taking phone calls right here.
Nexxlegacy.